ourselves or reminding ourselves of stuff that we have heard before, but we do need to start teaching our younger generation exactly what Juneteenth is. And I want to commend Kanaya for doing this on her own. It's her idea. She wanted to bring all of this together. What she has here is some little homework that I did for her. However, I did it today because y'all know I procrastinate. And so I'm going to help her in reading this, and then she's going to give y'all her thank you speech for coming out and kind of explain, you know, I guess why she wanted to do this also. Okay? So she's going to start with, she'll start with the introduction, which is just this part right here. And then you're going to read what it is right here. You got to read that out loud too. And she's just going to tell you something. Sherman!
Hey, Sherman! Hey, you right on time.
Perfect timing. Okay, so Kanaya, you got to talk a little loud though. You got to use your loud.
Okay, here she goes.
Use your outside voice, because this is very important. Y'all ready?
People, if you're not taping.
Ready?
Listen.
12 things you might not know about Juneteenth.
Louder.
There are more things.
She ain't got her glasses.
There's more than one Independence Day in the U.S. on June 19th, 1865. Jordan rode into Galveston, Texas, and announced enslaved people were no free. Since
Louder.
then, June 19th has been celebrated as June 19th. Across the nation, here's what you should know about the historic event and celebration.
So what she just read to y'all was there's more than one Independence Day. We celebrate the 4th of July.
Yes.
But we've always heard about Juneteenth, but we've never really celebrated. There's a lot of our African American or our black people that do not celebrate it, mainly because they don't know what it is.
Right.
So Kanaya just kind of gave y'all a brief summary of what Juneteenth is, and then I'm going to elaborate on the first of the 12 things that you may not have known about Juneteenth. She mentioned on June 19, 1865, the general rode into Texas and announced that the people were free. The enslaved people were free. Not so. Enslaved people had already been emancipated. They just didn't know it.
Right.
The June 19th announcement came more than 2.5 years
later
after Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863. So technically, from the Union's perspective, the 250,000 enslaved people in Texas were already free, but none of them were aware of it, and no one was in any rush to inform them. That's the first thing you may not know about Juneteenth.
Wow.
They were free 2 years before the man actually told them that they were free. You gotta read that and go to the next one. You gotta read loud. You gotta talk loud.
There are many theories as to
I got you, Andy.
why
It's okay. I know you don't like to be on the camera.
Emancipation Proclamation wasn't enforced in Texas. News traveled slowly back in those days. It took confident Confederate soldiers in western Texas more than 2 months to hear that Robert E. Lee had survived.
Take your time. Surrendered
at some have struggled and explained in
They can't hear you.
30 months gap between the Lincoln's Proclamation and enslaved people freedom, leading the Proclamation that some Texans suppressed the announcements. Others theories include that the regular messenger that has murdered to prevent the information or that government purposely delayed the announcement to Texas to give one more harvest out the enslaved workers, but the real
Okay.
Listen, okay, because I'm gonna narrow this down a little bit. So the one that she just read was that was the number 2 thing that the most people don't know about it. They didn't tell the slaves because they wanted to get one more harvest of cotton out of them before they let them go.
Yes.
They wanted them to pick a whole nother harvest of cotton, which is a whole nother year.
Right.
So they kept them all there. The third reason, and I'm just gonna go through this real quick. The third reason is the announcement actually urged freed men and freed women to stay with their former owners. So some of the officials in Texas told the slaves not to leave their owners because they were safer there. They had a place to eat. They had a place to stay. She'd be all right. She'd do it one time. She'd go do it more. And so they encouraged them to stay with the owners.
She already did it.
The slaves said, no, we're leaving. The fourth reason is what's known as the scatter. That's when the slaves tried to leave. And a lot of them did get away. A lot of them were able to escape. However, several of them got killed trying to cross the river. They got lynched. They got hung. Once their owners just noticed that they were leaving, they went after them to kill them because they wanted them to stay and work for them. And what they told them, see, not all of them were freed instantly. So many enslavers deliberately suppressed the information until after the harvest, and some beyond that. In July 1867, there were 2 separate reports of enslaved people being freed, and one report of a Texas horse thief named Alex Simpson, whose enslaved people were only freed after his hanging. And that was in 1868. So that was 3 years. That was actually up to 5 years later. The slaves were still trying to fight for their freedom, even though the proclamation had passed that they should already be free.